Welcome to the Fuzz, where we envision the ideas we'll all be buzzing about in the future.
The Fuzz. In the future.
What will dogs look like?
In the future.
Will podcasts still exist?
In the future.
Will computers take over?
In the future.
What will music sound like?
In the future.
People still wear shoes.
In the future.
What will advertising be like?
In the future.
Will we have computer chips in our brains?
In the future.
Will everyone in the world speak the same language?
In the future.
Will we be ultimately free to float about the universe?
In the future.
The Fuzz starts now.
The Fuzz!
While the things we talk about on this podcast might seem impossible or even slightly insane, so did deodorant, fitness trackers, and teeth whitening strips at one point. But here we are.
Here we are. On today's episode, we're talking about health and beauty packaging. Very specific topic we have there today. Health and beauty, not necessarily the products themselves, but the packaging, the containment units that they're going in, right, Patrick?
Yeah. I love packaging, bro.
All packaging.
I love all packaging. I love the concept of packaging. It serves two purposes. Number one, it gets you to buy it. That packaging, that whatever surrounds your product, has to be so enticing or engage you in a way that it makes you want to buy it. You know, you're inching along the aisle and you notice it, that packaging, it catches your eye. Why? Maybe it's a distinctive color. Maybe the container is a unique shape. Maybe it speaks to you in some other way. The point is, it stands apart from everything else on the shelf, at least to you in that moment, right? Because the packaging that speaks to you might not speak to me and vice versa, right? That's why you have audiences, and just like any other design. And number two, it serves as an informational source with directions on how to cook the food, apply the shampoo, clean the counters, how many pieces are there in the puzzle that you're buying. Whatever it is, it tells you a little about the product inside. That is why packaging is so cool to me. Ever since I was a wee little designer, I loved the idea of packaging because it creates an emotional connection that you may not even be aware of. Anyway, do you love packaging?
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with anything you're saying. Packaging, I think, is incredibly important. You know, I can think of the products I've bought just on packaging alone. I can picture standing in the candy aisle, looking at the packaging there and, you know, picking out a chocolate bar. I'll go and look at like dark chocolate and I'll pick one out just purely based on packaging alone, what it's telling me and what it looks like. And I think of how many times do I do that with different products, especially with tech products. Really nice packaging, how good you feel about it when you open it up, and the difference that makes in just your happiness and your response to that product. So I agree with you. There's a lot of power in packaging.
Yeah. Do you buy wine?
Yeah, sometimes.
Isn't that like the one thing that you buy on a shelf outside of like maybe the price that's underneath the bottle of wine? It's like the one thing that drives your purchase. What does that label look like? Which is the packaging for that. What does that bottle of wine's label look like?
Yeah, as someone who knows very little about wine, you know, I'll largely just like kind of guess. I'll be like, which label do I think is like the coolest? I know I want this type of wine, but I don't know anything about vineyards or areas or anything like that. So I'm largely just like guessing which one do I think is kind of the coolest within my price point. And that's how I'm making my decision. And a lot of times when I'm picking out like craft beers too, I know what kind I want. So based on name and packaging, you know, the label, what it looks like, that's how I'm making my decision.
Yeah. And craft beers, their packaging they're out of this world now, you know, like everything is.
It's off the rails. It's crazy. But that's not what we're talking about today. Those are some great examples. But we're talking specifically about health and beauty packaging. So what does that entail? You know, what are we talking about? That's kind of a wide category. Toothpaste, right? Shampoo, deodorant, makeup, sunscreen,
shaving cream, lotions. You could even go as far as saying Band-Aids, hairspray. It could even be the packaging to like a hair dryer.
That's a good one. Hair coloring, soap.
Razors. Q-tips.
And of course, your feminine care products.
So what's the future of this specific category, this specific genre? What did you think of when you were thinking about health and beauty?
So I generally took this, I kind of put things into two buckets. So the first bucket, I was thinking the trend, the way things are moving generally with packaging, and a lot of healthy beauty packaging, I think specifically, is sustainable. That's kind of the trend there. Rather than all this waste, we want things that are reusable or less packaging involved. Maybe really far into the future, what are some possible permutations of that? So one idea I had is packaging that disappears as you use the product. So as you're using, say, like your tube of toothpaste, the toothpaste is disappearing, so is the packaging with it. How does this work? Couldn't tell you. But maybe the packaging itself is made of toothpaste, something like that, or some way that it's just biodegradable. And as the toothpaste goes, maybe it's something where you could just almost like fold it up or crush it down into nothing to just like dust. Gone, it disappears. Once you use it, it's out of there. My other thought of this would require some sort of magic that, hey, you never know. It's the future, man.
Science could be thought of as magic.
Science is, it's often magical in its accomplishments,
True.
right? Packaging that replenishes itself when it's done. So your shampoo bottle is empty. You go online, click a button, your shampoo bottle refills itself. You don't take it anywhere. It's not getting filled up. It just refills itself.
Okay.
How does it happen? Again, I don't know that. That hasn't been invented yet. But that's how it would work. It would save you from having to keep buying container after container after container. You're just using the same one, but yet at the same time, you don't really have to do anything. Just like, hey, I want more comes right to you.
I'll say that one sounds probably the most absurd.
Sometimes you got to think with your mind's eye, man.
It's not the idea. The actual idea of it like refilling on its own, brilliant. Hey, maybe that's teleportation. They just teleport things right back into the bottle. Here's the absurd part. If you have that kind of technology, why do I have to go online and click a button? Just whenever it gets to the bottom, just autofill it, baby. I don't need to go click a button on it.
Well, you got to pay for it, right?
It's hooked up. I mean, if they're teleporting shit into my shampoo bottle, they should be able to just...
That's true. You're on the subscription model when you're getting that bottle, right?
Yeah. At that point, everything better be automated, because if I have to go click something, it's just not going to work for me.
You're like, just keeps refilling.
You're like, you got to cancel 7 days in advance. Otherwise, we're just going to keep auto depleting your account. I really like the idea of the packaging dissolving or whatever disappearing as it goes. I think it would work the best with toothpaste, because toothpaste is that one health and beauty product. You hate that toothpaste tube.
Squeezing the bottom, solve that problem. But, it could work for deodorant, your shower products. I don't know how well it would work, but some makeup products, I think that'd be good for those things too.
Oddly enough, I think my idea, it could work in tandem with your ideas. So mine isn't necessarily sustainable. It could be. It wouldn't dissolve. I'm thinking thin, high-resolution LED labels. And I'm saying LED, but obviously it would probably be some other technology by that point. But a little screen. But let's start off with something simple. Gradual color changing on the label. Something subtle to catch your eye on the shelf. Has the ability to change based on the circumstance. So when it's in the store on the shelf, it could be eye-catching, advertising to you, maybe new and improved. How you have the little earmark on the edge of a bottle sometimes when they do like new and improved formula or new design or whatever. That might be on the store shelf, but then when the cashier scans the UPC code, maybe that change creates a different label for you. At home, it's more subtle, blends into the background in your home, whether it's in your bathroom or whatever. But what I like about this is that what if your shampoo bottle's label, it tells you when it needs to be replaced. So like kind of going with your idea where it knows when it's getting low, and then it can tell you, like you go to use it and it says, based on your usage, you have 2 more uses of this or 5 more uses of this. Do you want to reorder? And maybe something where you can actually just push, yes, I'd like to order more, right on the label. Maybe with your thumbprint or something like your phone, and automatically orders your replacement. The other cool thing about something like that with like an interactive label is that it could give you those directions on use. You know, have you ever seen the ones where you have to peel off part of it to see the directions and stuff?
To get more.
Yeah, so it would be a little bit more assistive. You know, you could have bigger fonts and stuff like that for people, and they could see the directions easier. Because it wouldn't just apply to shampoo bottles. It could be like medication and things, you know, like we were talking about Neosporin or antibiotic ointment. Some people can't read that. How often have you looked at something and been like, I cannot read what those directions say on the back of that box? So that's my idea, which would maybe help with sustainability.
I like that idea. Very much more in the now, like very close future as opposed to my far future. But I think that's a good one. Especially, you know, the thumbprint reorder, barring accidental reorders. I think that's a really good idea and something that we're going to see soon.
Yeah.
I could definitely see something like that in the near future, especially from like Amazon or something like that. So this fits with where I was thinking with my second bucket of ideas, which was more in the AI packaging that's learning. You have some sort of label that's explaining or knowing what you're doing and helping you do it better. So that's kind of what I was thinking along there. I didn't quite get this totally together, but I'm thinking, you know, like you have some sort of hair gel or something like that, and it knows how you're styling your hair, and then it can, based on what you're doing, you know, the label can change, give you instructions, maybe show you a video of a different way to style it, or, you know, you use this much today, you could do this style and use this much. Or deodorant based on your body temperature, you know, this is your body and when you need it the most, when you should use it. Those are the kind of things I was thinking the packaging would be in tune more to provide a more personalized experience for you.
So your deodorant can smell you. Man, you stink.
Put me on, man. Put me on.
Like, if you want to not offend everyone when you leave the house. No, I like that. What's kind of cool about that to me is like the AI part of it, where it sort of learns and can sort of help you, whatever the situation is, right? Like, showing you other hairstyles or something like that. Or what would be kind of cool is if it had some way to have like a reflective,
like a mirror type surface.
Yeah, like face cam, right, for your phone.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because then hairstyles, you know, and maybe it could even show you what hairstyle would look like on you. So it takes, you know, thing of your face, and then it shows you a different hairstyle.
Yeah. Be like, based on your like face shape and your hair, here's some suggestions for you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if you chose one, it'd be like, here's instructions or a video on how to achieve this style.
Yeah.
Same thing with makeup. I think you just kind of hit it. That's a way to do it.
The packaging is also helping the manufacturer of those goods. Like, let's say it's a brand like L'Oreal, and they say, oh, you know, to achieve this look, this is what you'd want to do. And you might also want to think about these additional products. So it's cross-selling, even upselling something else that maybe you don't have, that you never even would have known to buy because you've always just used this product, right? Oh, I didn't even know they had beard cream, right? What's that beard cream going to do? It's going to make my beard look like that? And it shows me how it, like, you could groom your beard?
Builds that stronger connection with the brand, you know? If you feel like, hey, they really helped me use the product better, more likely to buy it again, feel like they're really investing in you and helping you out.
Yeah. And to me, some of that stuff can happen on the store shelf, but then when you buy it, maybe there's some extra level of informational resources that you get that can take you a little bit further.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And that goes back to your scanning of the UPC to activate it. You probably wouldn't want people to kill all the power in it while it's sitting on the shelf.
Right. Right. Yeah, it'd be like demo mode, right? Like when you buy a toy. So I love those ideas. This is one area that I think about all the time. Like, when they could do this, it can solve a problem. Like I said, number one and number two gets you to buy it. And then it also serves as an informational source. So if it could do those two things and do them better.
Yeah. Good stuff. I think we got to a pretty good place with this, bringing the future to health and beauty packaging, right?
It's a healthy place to stop, I would say.
It's a beautiful place to stop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I see what we did there. Well, everyone, I hope you got something out of the fuzz for today, but that's all for this episode. Tune in next time for more of tomorrow's buzz today.
Will people still be allergic to gluten?
Tomorrow's buzz when?
Tune in next time for more of tomorrow's buzz today.
Today.
You got to say pause 3 times in your head, and then you say today.
I could start writing that in there. Pause.
Today.
Today.